Hey, what's up guys and gals? It's the Tyrant here and welcome back to my Halo 5 Guardians Mythic Difficulty walkthrough. That's Legendary All Skulls on. No saves, no deaths. Some people call this LASO, some people call this LASO. Not really sure why LASO, because last time I checked, LASO was spelled with two S's. But anyway, also scoring needs to be enabled for games that apply. So, to get started, for this first area right here, it's implied that you need to fight off an entire army of Prometheans. We're going to say screw that. And we're going to run over here all the way to the left side. You've probably seen my pelican skip in my my sniper rifle video. There's a bit of an easier way here to do it. So run over here to the corner. There's a little hill, jump on top of it, smart scope in, and when you zoom out, you should be able to clamber straight up here, right past all those enemies. We don't need to fight them. And send your allies down here to keep them engaged in the soldiers so they don't interrupt the flow of the gameplay. So up here you've got a knight and you've got a few crawlers straight away. So the crawlers will typically approach the stairs. My recommendation is stay right here. If you venture too far out, that'll trigger the next wave of enemies, so don't do that if you can help it. The crawlers will typically try to approach you. As far as the knight's concerned, he usually stays in one place. Don't be too worried about this guy. He only has a scatter shot. But my recommendation here is to just shoot the faceplate. Because of where your positions, it's very difficult to shoot the vents and then a follow-up shot to the face when it opens for a split second. So you might as well just go for the faceplate here. I don't typically recommend this, but in this particular scenario, it works pretty well. So that crawler snuck up behind me. That does happen occasionally, and as you can see, I sort of crossed threshold, so wave 2 spawned in. That's another knight and a few more crawlers. It's not that big of a deal, though. You can still take these guys out pretty easily. Now, that first knight, sometimes he'll spawn a watcher, sometimes he won't, but the second knight is guaranteed to spawn a watcher, so you want to make sure you take that guy out first. Now, in terms of ammo, you don't have much to worry about here because there are infinite ammo crates on the floor right below you, similar to the ones where you can get infinite ammo for the carbine in missions like Swords of Sanghelios and Battle of Sinayon. So that's your human equivalent. It refills most ballistic weapons, not all of them, but the battle rifle, the DMR, the pistol, those all apply. So again, we're just trying to take our time here. Now, there are 4 waves total, so we have 2 waves that have already spawned in. And again, I'm going to try to keep my allies down there, but there's the infinite spawn or the infinite ammo crate right there. So make sure you reload plenty of times. There seems to be a timer in between waves. So if I don't down these 2 knights fast enough, the next wave will spawn, which is a bunch of Promethean soldiers. So we're going to try to take these guys out as quickly as possible. Again, it takes quite a few shots to down their faceplate, but it seems to be the easiest way. Generally, they won't go hide or anything like that, and they're not going to try to approach the stairs, again, unless your allies come up and they provoke them most of the time. So we're just taking this bit by bit. I'm trying to evenly distribute the damage here so we can take these guys out. And if the soldiers do end up spawning in, then the knights won't have that many hits left on them. So again, that was kind of my mistake. It looks like the allies came upstairs, so I'm going to redirect them back down here so they don't interfere with the progress of things. And of course, our good buddy right there is just, you know, not listening at all. But we should have this knight almost down at this point. And so it should take just a couple of more hits. And don't be afraid. There we go. First knight's down. And don't be afraid to reload. Again, I'm going to see if I can just get my guy down there. Sometimes it helps if you just target one of the soldiers. That'll usually keep him pretty occupied for a while. But you really don't want to get your allies up here until wave 3 spawns in. And you're going to want their help to down the soldiers. So you notice that I just looked at my legs right there. I can easily check that way to see if any of my, or if my shields are down. So, okay, that's the knight. We're going to see if we can finish this guy off real quick. Okay, both knights are down, so that'll trigger the 3rd wave. So it's on a timer. So if you don't, or at least as far as I can tell, so it's on a timer. So if you aren't able to destroy those 2 waves fast enough, the soldiers will spawn in anyway. Or they'll spawn in once you down the final, or everything in the area, or at least those 2 knights. So for the 3rd wave, you do want your allies up here. Don't be afraid to wait around if they've all been destroyed, because you're going to need them to deal with the soldiers. Now, the soldiers up here have light rifles and suppressors, so even if you try to hide behind the stairs, they can still hit you. Fortunately, these soldiers are just regular old soldiers. There's nothing really to worry about here. So we're going to try to deal with these guys. Now, wave 4 will come along in a few minutes. Usually, I think that's on a timer as well. Typically, I can down these guys pretty quickly with the help of my allies. But the 4th wave has 2 soldier captains and 2 watchers. So again, they'll spawn in as soon as you down these guys, or if you're taking too long to dispatch them. So again, we're just going to sort of take our time right here and deal with these guys as best we can. So as you can see, they're already getting aggressive with the light rifle. You do want to be careful, because if your allies aren't around to help you, if you get knocked out, because remember, revives are fine. You can get revived and it still qualifies as a Mythic Difficulty mission. But you definitely want to be sure and have your allies around, just in case you get another crawler that sneaks up on you, or you just happen to get taken out by one of the soldiers with a light rifle. It does happen, so don't be too discouraged by it. But again, just sort of take your time here. And of course, these guys occasionally will go up the staircase, as you can see, so that they can get you even if you are trying to hide behind the stairs, which we're trying to do right now. But okay, so our allies are up. Here comes wave 4. Again, this will have 2 watchers involved. You do want to try to make the watchers a high priority here, because they can heal their allies and even throw grenades at you, like we just saw there. So the soldier captain sort of took me off guard and came across the side. That doesn't usually happen. I've noticed with all the runs that I've done today, all my attempts, the captains have been a lot more aggressive than they usually are. So I'm not really sure if there's a certain trigger for that, or sort of event that takes place that makes them a little bit more aggressive than usual. Occasionally I've noticed a knight try to sneak around the side too, but again, typically that's only when your allies are involved. So, or they're trying to upset the situation. So again, every time you're out of ammo, don't worry about it. Just go down here and refill your ammo with those crates. And we're going to focus on the regular soldiers first. Save the captains for last. So again, there should be 2 captains. And once you're sure one of them's down and there's only 1 remaining, there's another little trick here that you're going to need to do. And that's going to get you prepped for the rest of the mission. So you're going to spend most of the mission in this area right here. Everything else isn't too difficult. So with that guy down, you want to guide your allies to the center of the area. Then we're going to sneak behind that soldier captain and assassinate him. This will get our shields back up. And you're going to need those shields for later. So we're going to hope that... Okay, so it was this guy... Again, it's a little interesting, because usually he's not aware, but it's like he's in Groundhog's Day at this point. It's like he remembers all the other attempts. Like every time he sees my allies down there, he's like, oh, wait a minute, this is when that guy Tyrant assassinates me. But again, usually it doesn't play out this way. So I would just, as soon as you get your shields up, don't worry too much about it. Let your allies deal with them for the most part. I would prefer to have as many shields as I can. He had already hit me a couple of times right there, so I was like, well... might as well get my allies back up here anyway. So again, revives are allowed in Mythic. It's not a route that I typically like going, but if it's got to be that way, it's got to be that way. So I'm going to see if I can get this guy. He is very aware of me this time around. And so at least at that point, I've got my shields up. And that's what you really want, and I'll explain why in a few minutes. But again, usually you can flank him and it's not too big of a problem. But again, my allies just are not getting his attention. I'm not really sure what the deal is here. Like I said, usually it's fine. So I'm going to see if maybe I can sneak up on him. No, he's still pretty... There we go. Okay, so he's finally down for the count. And so at this point, you want to stock up on ammo. Go ahead and grab the DMR here while also keeping your battle rifle. The DMR is going to be your main weapon for the next area. Go ahead and fill up on ammo. Get one of your allies to grab the rocket launcher. It's not really necessary, but it just sort of gives you a bit of an upper hand from here on out. And of course, the Nordfang, which is Linda's sniper rifle, is located here in the Pelican. So go ahead and get one of your other allies to pick this up. That can actually come in handy quite a bit in the next area. So of course, you have to scan this little thing right here and make sure your DMR is ready. So again, of course, the same person who picked up the sniper rifle, picked up the rocket launcher from before. So anyway, so you have to wait for Governor Sloan to go ahead and open up this next door, and then you'll enter the sniper area. I believe these are the first snipers that you encounter in the game, or at least the first Promethean snipers. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember there being any in Osiris. So, and I know there weren't any in the last mission, so we just got to wait this one out, and as soon as it opens, which you should in just a second. There we go. So go ahead and get that DMR out. And there's going to be a sniper right up to the left. Go ahead and take him out. and go ahead and send your guys up further to trigger the other waves to spawn. So there are going to be 2 snipers as soon as you enter. So then there's going to be additional snipers that warp in. You're going to have a total of 5 in this first round right here. So again, usually as long as you stay in this area, you're fairly protected, and the soldiers will typically go up to that top platform to try to snipe you. Now, just like in any other difficulty, the snipers don't have any faceplates, so 1 shot to the dome should do the trick. Not real difficult here. And so I'm still waiting for, there he is. Sometimes he'll come out, sometimes he won't. Now, when they're about to fire on you, the brightness of their faces will intensify. So once they're down for the count, go ahead, and if you want to help your guys out with the crawlers in this area, that's fine. It looks like they already got them. So there's 1 more wave that's going to spawn. It's going to be 2 snipers. Go ahead and send your allies up to the door. That's about where they're going to spawn. And what will happen here is when the snipers see your allies up close, they'll switch to their suppressors. So run to this truck right here, then immediately run back to your original location. The other 2 snipers will spawn in. You don't want to be caught in the crossfire. At this point, they may be armed with their binary rifles or their suppressors. Again, it just depends on whether or not they're engaging your allies. If they are, they're going to be using the suppressors just like that guy is right there. So that's 1 down. There should be 1 more. And so there are a grand total of 7 snipers in this area, 5 with the first round and then 2. So once you're there, the rest of the mission is pretty straightforward at this point, but this is why you need full shields. So the next area, it's intended that you try to fight your way through. But there is an army, there's a legion of Prometheans there, and it's just not ideal, especially on Mythic difficulty. So we're going to run past it, but when we get to the end, you will be shot by a captain with a scatter shot. It's not out of the question. It's not, well, it may or may not happen. It will happen. So if you don't have your full shields at this point, then you're going to be toast. So go ahead and travel down these pipes right here. Stay as far to the left as possible. Of course, you're going to see the Prometheans warping in like crazy. There are going to be dozens of them, all trying to figure out where you are. Some might try to shoot at you. When you get to this part right here, jump on top of this crate, and then on top of this platform, get on the ledge right here, run as fast as you can, jump and turn towards this ledge, and then you should be able to just run straight up. Again, there are 2 captains right there, 1 with a scatter shot, 1 with a splinter cannon. Sometimes they'll get you, but if you have full shields, usually you can get by there. And it's not a big deal because your shields will recharge to full when you go against the Warden Eternal. It's just part of the cutscene. So you'll go into the boss battle with full shields anyway. Now, you may have seen in my legendary walkthrough, I show you how to fight through the Warden. I'm going to show you an even better trick this time around that my buddy Legendary Smile showed me how to do. And so we're going to go ahead and just warp down, or ground pound down to this area. And we're going to enter the Warden. Now, as soon as the cutscene finishes, or we don't have to worry about cutscenes because we have scoring enabled, you're going to want to turn and run to the place that I show you. Now, just an FYI, it doesn't work out the same way 100% of the time. Sometimes the crawlers will see you, and there's nothing you can really do about that. But generally speaking, you don't have to worry too much about them. So again, turn to your right here, and we're going to go ahead and send our allies to the platform, the end of the platform. Now, you see that little ledge that I'm on right now? There's a little peg under me, and you want to stand directly above that. With your allies on the other side of the pillar, the Warden should be focusing on you. And so as soon as he comes down here, wait for him to jump, and then start moving to the right, and then dash as soon as he touches the ground, and he should go right off the platform. There you go. The Warden Eternal made easy. That is Unconfirmed on Mythic difficulty. So did you pick up any new tips that you can use for your own campaign experience? You can let me know in the comments below, or hit me up on Twitter at MythicTyrant. A link to my Twitter feed can be found in the description below. And if you consider yourself a big fan of the site and you want to support this site in the future so we can stay in business, go ahead and have a look at my Patreon page too, and donate as little as $1 a month. And of course, if you're a really big fan and you want to show off your Mythic Tyrant fandom, we have a new Mythic Tyrant store as well. We have dozens of different items on there that bear the Mythic Tyrant logo. Go ahead and check that out too. And of course, if you like this video and you want to see more and you want to stay up to date on all your Halo news, tips, tricks, and secrets, don't forget to click that subscribe button for more great content every single day right here on MythicTyrant.com. And click that notification icon so you can get push notifications as soon as I upload a video so you can be one of the first to see it. Thanks so much for watching, guys and gals. I'll catch you all right back here next time. And as always, I'm the Tyrant, signing off.